Do you find it rude to have to ask your larger Uncle Frank to move over to the middle of the boat? Or do you find it hard to get your boat up and out of the water? Maybe you need trim tabs. Stick around to find out more. Hi, I'm Sean from Cove Lessons in Boating. And if you own a small boat anywhere from 15 to 24 feet, you probably don't need or have trim tabs. But if you have a larger boat, 23, 24 plus, you may be looking at a boat that has trim tabs on it, or you might want to consider having those installed as an option on the new boat that you're ordering. What are trim tabs, you ask? So unlike trim on the outdrive or outboard of the engine, which you can find at this video here, trim tabs are large plates or wedges that are at the back corners of the boat at the bottom of the hull. The trim tabs usually have up-down positions on each of the tab. And if you're going across a body of water and you find that you have a larger load, people or gear, water or fuel on one side or the other, you can push that one side tab down, which will help level the boat back out and make the ride a lot more smooth. And you can do that for either side. The other thing that I find is common is that if you're going into some wind and potentially waves, that wind and wave will roll the boat slightly as you're going across the body of water. So even if you're evenly balanced, that headwind on the one corner will roll the boat, and you can use the tabs to kind of balance out. And if you've ever done that where you go into the wind in one direction and then back in the other, you'll find that the boat rolls in the opposite direction. But trim tabs are great for that, so you don't end up going down the lake like this. You can bring it back to level by using one of your trim tabs. So depending on the style of the hull, how it's powered, and the overall size of the boat, and sometimes how you have it loaded, whether you have a lot of weight towards the stern or just a lot of weight on board, trim tabs are great for helping you get your boat up and out on plane. And you would put both tabs down when you go to throttle up, and that will essentially help lift the back of the boat up out of the water, which then allows the bow to come down and for you to get on plane. Once you get up on plane, you're going to want to bring those tabs up so that you're not pushing your bow down into the water, which is less hydrodynamically efficient and will cause for a slightly rougher ride, more spray and more fuel used. So as you go up on plane, much like you want to trim your drive down, you're going to want to put your tabs down to help lift the back of the boat and get it up on plane. Once you get it up on plane, bring your tabs up and bring your drive trim up a little bit to give you that optimal cruise. So there are three different types of trim tabs. The first two are manual tabs, and those are tabs that you input by a keypad on the dash. Sometimes there's just up and down buttons, and sometimes there's four. And the two types are hydraulic. Bennett is the most common trim tab manufacturer for that. And the other type is electric, or a worm gear, which is a Lenco tab. So these two types of tabs work essentially the same insofar as they push the tabs down and retract up, and you control them by those buttons on the dash. The third type of trim tab is an automatic system, and they are more advanced and more expensive and basically do all the work. They're usually gyroscopically controlled, and as you're going down the body of water and it pitches and rolls and bucks up and down forward, they automatically deploy very quickly to smooth out that ride, and that is the ultimate in ride stabilization. So, do you get by with a little help from your friends like the Beatles, and do you need trim tabs? If you have a boat that's over 24 feet, you may want to consider it. If you have a boat that's smaller, you probably don't need it, and if you do think you need it on a smaller boat, it's probably fairly dramatically underpowered. If you own a boat and you want to install trim tabs, you can do it as a do-it-yourself project. It is fairly complicated to get them situated right and get all the wires run or hydraulic lines, or your marine dealer could do it. And certainly if you're ordering a boat new from the factory, look to check to see if it's an option. Thanks for watching today's Cove Lessons in Boating. Please remember to like this video and subscribe for more. We hope you have a great time in the water, and we'll see you out there.